when it comes to the issue of foreign policy thus far, even if it's still early, there is a serious lack of anyone really laying out a truly progressive foreign policy vision, with the exception of one person, Tulsi Gabbard.
When we look at Tulsi Gabbard, the United States representative from Hawaii, she is also a woman of color. She's a veteran and a strong progressive, but look at how the media is attacking her. Tulsi Gabbard is constantly labeled as an Assad apologist, right-wing. She's not progressive enough. No one knows who she is, and that she is incapable of leading a strong campaign.
So what does this have to do with Gabbard? Well, Gabbard's positions are very similar to Bernie. She supports increased minimum wage to $15 an hour, supports universal health care. She's pro-choice. She stands for very strict gun control. She supports federal legalization of marijuana and wants to end Citizens United.
But while Gabbard is a Democrat, she was emphatically not a Clinton supporter, resigning as vice chair of the Democratic National Committee in February 2016 to endorse Bernie Sanders in the primary.
She is a minority, she's female, young, and not an establishment Democrat, almost the perfect candidate to beat Trump, but yet the left is looking to destroy her.
So Tulsi Gabbard has been getting attacked relentlessly in the media ever since she announced her campaign, because Tulsi Gabbard has been out there standing up for peace.
She has seen war. She was a combat medic. She's seen the atrocities, and she says, this is a waste, and this is horrible. It's a waste of our money. It's horrible to do to our vets. It's war they should not be in. This is not protecting Americans' freedoms, and it's certainly going into regions, and it's destroying them.
Hey, when we overthrow governments willy-nilly, turns out that usually what fills the vacuum is worse. And it's not our position to do it anyway because we'd violate international law in the process. So it's a breath of fresh air to see a candidate put foreign policy front and center and not backtrack at all and say, no, I'm against these interventionist regime change wars, and if you disagree with me, you're wrong.
When you're a two-tour veteran who's a major, and you have the respect of people because you're a veteran, and people know that you know what you're talking about because you've been in Iraq for 2 tours and you saw people, your brothers and sisters, die, and now you come back and you are vehemently against those regime change wars, what are they going to do to you? This is what they're going to do to you.
Today, Tulsi Gabbard is officially announcing that she's running for president. And at the same time, NBC News decides to release an article saying that she's being propped up by the Russians. I mean, the smear campaign against Tulsi Gabbard it's honestly appalling.
CNN has just been launching article after article after article after article attacking Tulsi Gabbard.
And what's amazing is doing this to Tulsi Gabbard. She was a Democratic star just 4 years ago when she was first elected, and now suddenly they're smearing her.
Wanted to move on to the continuing McCarthyism and downright propaganda against Tulsi Gabbard. Here is Tulsi Gabbard on Morning Joe.
Tulsi Gabbard went on Morning Joe the day after Donald Trump's State of the Union speech, and the Morning Joe crew was very unfair to her, in my opinion. Tulsi Gabbard tried to explain her anti-interventionist position, and the crew was really trying to make it seem like Tulsi Gabbard was some kind of Assad lover or dictator lover.
On paper, you'd think that Tulsi Gabbard was the perfect democratic and progressive candidate. But instead of recognizing these demonstrable strengths, they fucking hate her.
The corporate news is owned by the people we're supposed to be fighting. Instead of exposing the military-industrial complex, they're attacking people who are exposing the military-industrial complex.
But guess what? Maybe the American people are catching on, because the American people agree with Tulsi. Tulsi's a non-interventionist. The American people agree with Tulsi. So, if she keeps fighting back, it's going to be a hell of a thing to watch.
She was great there! That was great! First of all, shutting down stupid airhead Megan. The way that she handled that was so good. She obviously knows what she's talking about. That was, I'm persuaded. I'm on Tulsi's side now.
I think as a person who's coming from the left, who's also a veteran, and is very articulate and sensible, she has some very promising ideas.
There's a sense of integrity and character when she speaks, man, that I just don't get from a lot of the other candidates.
The candidate that I know the best is Tulsi Gabbard. And while we may not agree on issues, I don't think she's going to be pulled in any direction she doesn't want to go.
Her speech calls out the intelligence communities, calls out both parties, calls out corporations, calls out Wall Street, calls out regime change. That is what people want to see. They want to see someone finally stand up to the establishment and say, I've had enough.
I can't say enough good things about her. This is what I hope the next president of the United States' thoughts on peace are.